Sarah Adams in Cwmbran. And Sarah, we've met before. Your son, Private James Prosser, was killed while serving with the Royal Welsh in Afghanistan at the age of 21. I've been thinking about you a lot in the last few days, just when people have been discussing this and wondering how you feel about it.
Betrayed, sickened is all I can say. It's another insult to all of those lives that have been lost in this country, Iraq and Afghanistan. All of the servicemen and women have come back with life-changing injuries that they now have to live with because of the lies of this man. Andrew Pearce summed it up absolutely perfectly. If he had a semblance of conscience, he would decline it, knowing the backlash towards him receiving it and the contempt for him that there has been over the last few years. Quite a few years now.
Yeah, we're talking obviously to John, who was Blair's ally there, who says the clearest thing he said was that there's only one person responsible for the war in Iraq, and that's Saddam Hussein, and that also that the terrorists were there before Blair.
But we also know that they overplayed all of the evidence of what Saddam Hussein had. That was clear in the Chilcot inquiry. So, I disagree with that completely. George Bush and Tony Blair lied about the evidence that was there and took us to war against what we all wanted in this country as well. And that has caused countless lives and life-changing injuries. We have to live with that now. It's 4,485 days that I've lost James. That's a sentence I have to deal with from here on in. And, I have to deal with that. The war's not over just because the politicians say it is. They lied. They took us to a war that we shouldn't have been in. And I lost James, and so many other people lost their children and their loved ones. So many lives have been changed and, forever because of their lies. They blatantly lied. You should not be receiving a knighthood. It devalues the honours. We're not supposed to give these honours out lightly, and it's supposed to be done for great work. And yes, I do acknowledge that he has done some good things in time in office, but it's heavily outweighed by the deaths that he caused because of his lies, and that needs to be, taken into account.
Thank you, Sarah. John, military families, mums, veterans are up in arms.
Yeah, I have a close friend who was in the armed forces who died in Afghanistan. We have armed forces to create peace where we can. We have armed forces who are deployed when there are wars, as in Iraq, in the UN resolution, when there are wars in Afghanistan, when Afghanistan actually attacked one of our allies and it was ungoverned space. Al-Qaeda attacked the US. The US called on our treaty obligations to defend our ally and go into Afghanistan. I regret deeply that the UK and America are no longer in Afghanistan supporting democracy. And I think every prime minister, and Tony said this, every prime minister regrets every death of everybody, member of the armed forces when they're deployed. And every prime minister takes very seriously the decision to deploy internationally. And it's one of the gravest decisions that they ever make. But every single country in Europe had the same intelligence that the UK had, and they made different choices on whether to act on that. And the fact remains, Saddam Hussein is responsible for the deaths in Iraq.
Thank you very much, Steve. John McTernan, who is Tony Blair's Director of Political Operations for 2005-2007. A special thanks to Sarah Adams for joining us, because I know a lot of the mums in particular who lost their sons had a very difficult Christmas with this news.